The NFT craze of 2022. What a whirlwind that was. It seemed like everywhere you turned, people were buzzing about these digital tokens, convinced they were the key to a whole new world of wealth and creativity. But as it turned out, they were more like a rollercoaster ride of hope and disappointment. Imagine pouring your heart out, and let's face it, a lot of what felt like play money, into something only to have it deflate like a balloon when reality hits. It's a cringe-worthy tale indeed. Those NFTs, flashy as they were, had their moment in the spotlight throughout 2021. Social media was practically ablaze with debates over their worth. Were they the future of art and finance, or just a passing fad destined for the digital trash heap? Meanwhile, while many of us were scratching our heads trying to wrap our minds around the concept, others were diving headfirst into what essentially amounted to buying fancy JPEGs. Almost as suddenly as it began, the NFT frenzy fizzled out. Crypto, once hailed as the currency of the future, suddenly seemed more like a cautionary tale than a sure bet. The headlines of 2023 were filled with stories of scams, collapses, and currencies plummeting faster than a lead balloon, and those NFT enthusiasts who had been so vocal? They seemed to vanish into thin air. Yet, amidst the wreckage of the crypto crash, there was one NFT project that managed to stand out. The Bored Ape Yacht Club. These quirky monkey illustrations at their peak were fetching prices that would make your head spin. But then, just as quickly as they soared, they crashed back to earth. Now, they're worth a fraction of their former glory. Talk about a roller coaster of value. So what's the deal with the Bored Ape Yacht Club? How did it go from the hottest ticket in town to a cautionary tale of speculative excess? Well, strap in because it's a wild ride. Started by Yuga Labs in 2021, the project featured 10,000 unique monkey characters, each more, shall we say, distinctive than the last. They were billed as millionaire party animals from the future, but let's be real, most of them were just plain bizarre. Back in the heyday of crypto fever, when it seemed like everyone and their cousin was launching their own coin, Yuga Labs saw an opportunity. They tapped into this emerging culture of risk-taking and meme-fueled investing, positioning their project as a nod to the apes of the crypto world, the outsiders who were shaking up the status quo. It was a savvy move, tapping into a sense of rebellion and community that was bubbling up in the crypto community. But like so many things in the crypto space, the rise and fall of the Bored Ape Yacht Club are a study in contradictions. It's a tale of hype, manipulation, and ultimately disillusionment. And while I could delve into the nitty-gritty details, let's be honest, it's a rabbit hole that I'm not sure I want to go down. At the end of the day, what are we left with? A bunch of weird-looking monkeys and a whole lot of questions. It's almost as if the creators of the Bored Ape Yacht Club got tired of the traditional trappings of capitalism and decided to forge their own path to success and community, infused with a healthy dose of irony. But let's not kid ourselves. While the concept may have been cleverly marketed, the execution of the project wasn't exactly revolutionary. In fact, the whole idea of randomly generating tokens based on template artworks had been done before, years prior by a project called CryptoPunks. Instead of monkeys, they used, well, let's just say less than aesthetically pleasing pixel art characters. Even the name Yuga Labs seems like a nod to Larva Labs, the company behind CryptoPunks. It was essentially the same concept. Generate a limited series of tokens, sell them off, and watch scarcity work its magic. And boy did others jump on the bandwagon. Just a quick internet search reveals a slew of copycats. Lazy Lions, Stoner Cats, PGY Penguins, World of Women, Rumble Kong League, Crypto Kitties, Lonely Alien Space Club, the list goes on. Yet amidst this sea of imitators, the Bored Ape Yacht Club managed to rise above the rest. Why did it capture the public's imagination? Well, part of it was the added perks of owning a Bored Ape token. Sure, you got some flashy artwork and bragging rights, but you also gained access to exclusive Discord groups, in-person events like Ape Fest, and perhaps most importantly, the commercial rights to your specific ape. That's right, you could monetize derivative content based on your ape character, turning it into a veritable cash cow. This not only benefited individual token holders, but also served as free advertising for Yuga Labs. By allowing holders to create their own projects and sub-brands, they were essentially expanding the Bored Ape brand without lifting a finger. No wonder we saw a flood of ape-related projects popping up left and right in 2021 and 2022. But let's not forget the absurdity of it all. I mean, who in their right mind would pay top dollar for the right to doodle on a digital canvas in a virtual bathroom? Yet here we are with people clamoring for the chance to leave their mark in this exclusive online space. It's like Reddit's r/place but with a hefty price tag attached. Let's delve into the fascinating inner workings that propelled the Bored Ape Yacht Club into the stratosphere of crypto fame. While Yuga Labs didn't hold direct ownership or control over the intellectual property of the Bored Ape Yacht Club as a whole, they implemented a stroke of brilliance. They granted commercial rights to all the apes held by token owners. This seemingly small detail set off a chain reaction that made it feel like Bored Apes were everywhere during the summer of 2021. Individual holders, eager to capitalize on the burgeoning NFT bubble, began creating derivative projects based on their own apes. Now, this wasn't Yuga Labs funding various ventures, rather, it was individual holders seeking to profit from the hype, and boy, did it work. This explosion of creativity and activity surrounding Bored Apes gave the impression that Yuga Labs and the Bored Ape Yacht Club wielded more influence than they actually did. But let's rewind to the initial sale of the apes. Yuga Labs sold each of the 10,000 apes for a modest sum, about 0.08 ethereum or roughly $189 at the time. These prices weren't eye-watering at first. The six-figure sales came after the initial batch sold out. This exclusivity, the sense of being part of an elite club, significantly drove up demand and subsequently prices. And oh, how those prices soared. Celebrities clamored to join the frenzy, awkwardly flaunting their newfound ape ownership on talk shows and collaborating on ape-themed music videos. It seemed like everyone wanted a slice of the ape action, but why were they willing to pay so much for what essentially amounted to digital doodles? Here's where things take a darker turn. NFTs, as you may know, are speculative assets, their value determined solely by public confidence. When combined with cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, the result is even wilder. Ethereum itself is prone to wild value swings, making buying an NFT akin to gambling on its future worth. With a Bored Ape frenzy reaching fever pitch, it was feeding frenzy of speculation and FOMO. Alright, let's plunge deeper into the murky depths of the Bored Ape Yacht Club saga. So, you've snagged your sewer pass for Dookie Dash, but here's the twist. Not all passes are created equal. Some come with better multipliers, giving players a leg up in the game. Why is that so? Because naturally, these passes are NFTs themselves and can be bought and sold to the highest bidder. It's all about scarcity and rarity. But why would anyone want to dive into this game, you wonder? Well, besides the sheer thrill of chasing a high score, there's a grand prize at stake, the one-of-one key. You heard that right, only one person can lay claim to this elusive key, and they'll be crowned the ultimate victor of Dookie Dash. And what's their reward for triumphing? A transforming mecha NFT or some equally bizarre creation from a new collection launched by Yuga Labs. Now you might be scratching your head, wondering why on earth anyone would fork over thousands just for a shot at playing a game about, well, poop. But that's the beauty of the crypto world, my friend. Logic and reason need not apply. But hold on to your hats because it gets even crazier. Remember that eye-popping $450 million? Well, it turns out FTX, one of the major investors in Yuga Labs, was the mysterious buyer behind a colossal auction of Bored Ape NFTs, and guess what? They weren't just a traditional collector as they claimed. They were a crypto company making strategic moves to inflate the value of NFTs in the crypto market itself. If that doesn't make your head spin, let's talk scams, because what's a crypto craze without a healthy dose of theft and deception? The Bored Ape Yacht Club community fell prey to a notorious phishing scam orchestrated by hackers who infiltrated the official Instagram account and lured unsuspecting fans into a trap. With no regulations in place to shield them, victims were left high and dry, their wallets drained of millions in crypto assets. There's more. Seth Green, yes, that's Seth Green, found himself ensnared in a phishing scam, losing over $300,000 worth of NFTs, including his prized Bored Ape. With no recourse but to turn to the FBI, he joined the ranks of countless others left reeling from the darker side of the crypto world. Now, as lawsuits loom large and the dust begins to settle, the Bored Ape Yacht Club stands at a crossroads. With allegations of deceptive business practices swirling and the true motives of its backers coming to light, the once golden allure of these digital primates is beginning to tarnish. Picture this. By inflating the image of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they were essentially inflating their own pockets, Yuga and its partners, that is. Guess what? Many of those celebrity endorsements of these bizarre monkey NFTs, they were paid promotions. Business connections were carefully concealed behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. The lawsuit against Yuga is still ongoing, and if the legal tides turn against them, they could be in for a world of hurt. Now, let's talk about Ape Fest. Imagine a convention where the price of admission isn't just a ticket but ownership of a Bored Ape or Mutant Ape NFT. It's like Comic-Con but with a bizarre twist. Attendees decked out in merchandise of their beloved apes cosplaying as their digital counterparts. Sure, it's cringy from the outside, but who are we to judge? But then, disaster struck at the 2023 Ape Fest in Hong Kong. Attendees reported burning sensations in their eyes after exposure to UV lights. Some even ended up in the hospital. It turns out the lights used at the event may have been medical disinfectant lights causing temporary blindness. Yuga tried to downplay the incident, but the damage was done. And let's not forget the broader context of 2023, a year that dealt a massive blow to the confidence and legitimacy of crypto. With major players like FTX and Binance imploding, the floor price of Bored Apes plummeted over 88% from its peak. But even as the market crumbled, the faithful clung on, believing in the dream of riches. But why did people fall for it? Why did they pour their hard-earned money into JPEGs of ugly monkeys? At its core, it's about community, a sense of belonging in a world that's increasingly disconnected. Even the founders of Yuga got into crypto for the community, not just for the promise of wealth. So, before you judge those who got swept up in the frenzy, remember, we're all just looking for a sense of belonging, whether it's in a virtual monkey club or a local knitting circle. And hey, if you've been burned by crypto, maybe it's time to find a community that doesn't require mortgaging your house. See you tomorrow. Have a good day.